Hi.
Hi. Should we introduce ourselves?
Am I going to be my real name or should I just be something stupid?
I don't know. Be something stupid.
Hi, I'm Cumbucket.
I'm Regina Phalange. Nick that.
I wish that was your name.
I can always change it. Christmas present to myself.
So the subject we decided to talk about approximately 15 seconds ago is comedy. Are there any barriers? Are there any rules that shouldn't be broken? Are people too easily offended? And anything we happen to feel like talking about as we go. So Charlie, or Felina...
Regina Phalange.
Felina Vajazzle, whatever your name is. You have actually done stand-up comedy.
I actually have. I was Pun Queen of Norwich for 2 years in a row.
Well done.
And I was pretty much the only female comic in the whole of Norwich.
Now, why do you believe that is?
Because...
Is it because women just aren't funny?
That's what the critics want you to say, but
Yes.
It's true. It is true.
Don't listen to the man.
I get really annoyed. It's the whole BBC thing where they now have to have a token woman on each panel show.
Hmm.
But by doing that, they are forcing women that aren't as funny as men, and then making them look bad because they're just not as funny.
Is it kind of that equality thing of where you've got to have you just push somebody through,
Yeah.
even if they're not up to the same standard?
They're like, oh my god, we need a woman. You are reasonably okay, so we'll put you on QI with these really funny people. And it's not that men are funnier, it's just that there are more men doing comedy, so they're more, like, you've got more to pick from. So there's hundreds of thousands of crap male comedians, but it's the good ones that make it. And then because there are fewer women, there's like, say, this is obviously shrunk down a lot, 2 high-quality female comedians in the whole of the UK.
Yeah.
They can't do every show.
That's true. Well, maybe they're just not trying hard enough.
They're not.
I thought women could multitask.
We can, but, we have periods and we have to make babies and cook
I
food.
know.
And, we can't work, so...
Talk about hair rollers.
Yeah,
and,
makeup and crap. So you're going to have to fill some of those spaces with subpar female comedians, and then it just kind of feeds the idea that women just aren't as funny.
Do you think men can get away with more in comedy than women?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What do you think? Why is that?
Well, men... Well, I'm a big fan of QI.
Yeah, because there was a massive outcry about Sandy Topsvik, wasn't there?
Yeah, I love her.
Yeah, I mean...
She's genuinely funny.
She's incredibly intelligent.
Yeah.
She's really funny. And I couldn't... when they announced her, I was like, perfect choice.
Yeah.
But...
Because she's a woman, everyone was like, no, she can't be funny and intelligent or be in charge of a panel show. Just, frankly...
And she's a bloody lesbian as well.
I know. She's like all of the things that Daily Mail readers hate.
I know.
She's foreign.
Oh, yeah, she is an immigrant.
A lesbian and a woman.
Yeah.
And has an education. Oh my god.
Meltdown.
Yeah. But what was I saying? She's one of the, going back to my main thing I have about female comedians, and people that know me know this.
No.
I love female comedians. I think they're great. Unless the only thing they talk about is being a woman, being a wife, or being a mother.
Is it like black comedians who all they can talk about is being black? And gay comedians who their whole thing is, I'm gay, gay.
It's like Shaki Khorsandi. All she does is talk about being Pakistani, and being a woman, and being a wife, and how all of those things have affected her life. I'm like, well, there's a lot of other things funny in life. You can make a few jokes about that, but then,
I suppose you're not really helping the grand cause of... How you write that, I don't know. But the grand cause of...
A lot of consonants.
Yeah. But yeah, you're not really kind of pushing any boundaries or like breaking the mould, are you? By just reinforcing, this is all I am. I'm a one-dimensional comedic entity.
All I can talk about is being a woman.
Yeah, or all I can talk about is being black.
Yeah.
It's like, well, I'm sure you've done other things in your life. You didn't... It's not like being black is your occupation. Exactly. You're kind of born like it.
You have been out to the shops and had a funny encounter with someone. I mean, my set was... Initially, I pretty much had the same set for a year, about being fat.
It's alright, some comedians do it for a lifetime.
I know, it's ridiculous, you can just add a little bit in. There was a lot about being fat, there was a lot about being bullied, but then the rest of it was observational. It wasn't, I wasn't just a fat girl that stood on stage and made jokes about being a fat girl.
No, I think there's a kind of element that if you half point of being a comedian is also that you make fun of yourself, isn't
Yeah.
it? If you can make fun of yourself and you can kind of create that link with the audience where they can say, oh, she can have jokes, she can, you know, with any comedian.
You can identify with it.
Yeah, and then you can start branching out.
Yeah.
So I can understand an element of your show almost to sort of warm the audience up to get them to like
It's
you.
kind of going, right, there's a fat, unattractive girl on stage in front of you. She's going to address that, so you are then comfortable at laughing at her. Because a lot of people, for example, there was a stand-up comedian in Norwich when I was there he had cerebral palsy. And he was in a wheelchair and he couldn't move and he was pretty much set as he was. And then I think initially people would have felt hugely uncomfortable laughing at what he was saying because they're like, I don't want to laugh at a guy in a wheelchair.
Well, Billy Connolly said when he was doing his
Sorry,
ah. Oh, that's like having a barbed wire finger up your bum listening
Oh,
to
it's the
that.
best.
Is it really?
Not the barbed wire finger. The cracking.
Each to their own. Each to their own bumhole.
Very lonely.
But I know Billy, is actually recording?
It's red.
Is that making lines and things? Yeah, cool. I know Billy Connolly said since he's had Parkinson's, like, he come out on stage and say, and he'll address the fact he's got Parkinson's to say, so you don't have to sit there symptom spotting.
Yeah.
And it's true.
You have to address the elephant in the room. Like, yes, I'm in a wheelchair. I have cerebral palsy.
Or why you have brought an elephant to the room.
Well, yeah, that would be a really good comedy show. I might try that. Because then the audience can laugh.
Yeah.
But there's addressing it and then there's just focusing on it. Because if you had a half an hour set of someone talking about how they're in a wheelchair, people are just going to get, this was funny initially and now we're bored. We're not discriminating, we're just bored.
Well, like, you're a fan of Jim Jeffries?
Yes.
Yeah. It's like he comes out and you can see he's gradually getting more and more pissed as the show goes on. But he addresses the fact that he drinks.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, okay, yeah, we know you've got this, you know.
We're not going to be sitting there going, is he getting drunk? Is he an alcoholic?
Yeah.
It's addressed.
And that, I think, that's part of that thing where, like, if people go into risky territory, and like the risky territory is getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger as more people get offended at every single little thing in the world. Now, is it because people just don't understand what comedy is? And the whole point of comedy is you're saying something. If you could describe, like, if you make a joke that's risque, isn't the whole point of that is the idea is ridiculous because you are not like that?
Yes. It's the argument I have about Frankie Boyle. Frankie Boyle had the jokes about God knows everything, but you know that if he made a joke about a dead baby, he wasn't actually a baby killer.
No.
He wasn't actually going to go and do that. He hadn't done that. He made a joke about it, and it was funny because it was shocking.
Yeah, and the idea is this concept is so ridiculous.
That's why we laugh at it.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the nature of comedy.
Yeah, if like people during the war would make jokes about death and things.
Yeah.
Because if you didn't, you'd go insane. Because people around you were dying all the time. You had to have a sense of humour to get through that.
Yeah, it's great. It's like swearing. My mum doesn't get why swearing makes things funny. And it's because it shocks. If someone doesn't swear, and then they tell a joke in which they swear, people kind of go, oh, I can laugh. That is weird. Swearing is essentially lovely.
I brushed my teeth before I came out, so it's alright. Even though it still does taste a bit of toast.
Nice. Did you get any remnants?
Bit of fried chocolate cream.
Nice.
Mixed with snot.
Not bad.
It's a beautiful combination.
I've lost my train of thought now, but swearing is funny. Swearing is inherently
Too
funny.
much swearing is annoying, I find. If your whole vocabulary consists of fucky, fucky, cunty, 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 fucky, fucky, cunty, cunty, then again,
it's not funny when you say it.
No.
But if I'm really angry,
unless you're a Scotsman, then it's just part of your national language.
Yeah, they learn it when they're like 5.
Yeah.
When I'm, because of my brain messed up stuff, I always make a joke out of whatever's going on.
If you got offended,
cope.
tough shit.
Just turn off. If I'm like angry about something, I will try and make light of the situation. In which case, I will go on a sweary rant.
Yeah.
And my friends are very well acquainted with this, and they'll know I'm joking. But if I don't swear, shit got real.
Yeah.
And I'm not happy.
Hell hath just broken loose.
Yes. Yeah. See, that's how I distinguish. If I swear, I'm right. But if I don't, I'm not. I think I'm broken. That's not the right way around, is it?
I don't know, as long as it works.
Yeah.
But,
I know.
So why do you think people have got... Do you think people have got more...
Yes.
You don't even know what I was going to say.
Easily offended.
I might have said hemorrhoids.
Probably
Have
that
people
too.
got more hemorrhoids?
Yeah, probably high fat intake in their diet makes it harder.
Sitting down too much?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We like doctors.
Too much anal?
That too. Rife.
Right, it's everywhere.
Rife.
Can't go anywhere without seeing someone poking something in someone's bottom.
Especially Braintree.
Well, no, I thought it was called the Colchester condom. Up the bum.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I've not heard that.
Yeah.
I like it. I'm going to use
One
it.
up the bum, no harm done. One in the poo, no babies for you.
We've gone off topic.
Yes.
But yes, people are more easily offended.
Why do you think that is?
I don't know. I think it's because it's so easy to now be offended. You can't... I don't know whether it's because you can't avoid it. If someone posts something on Facebook that is hilariously funny but may offend you because, I don't know, you've got no sense of humour, you can't just sort of not see it.
Well, I think I was listening to somebody talking about this, and it was the whole idea of victim mentality. And it's, yeah. But the thing is, when you're a victim, it gives you a degree of power.
Yeah.
Because you're able to say, so, you offend me, so therefore, by me saying that, I can almost take control of the situation.
And the person that offended you is the one in the wrong.
Exactly. I can rally people to my cause. And it's a bit of a sort of almost like sort of gang warfare, really. Yeah. But it's that I think one of the other reasons is that because of social media, is that when you've got people who don't have to take responsibility for what they say face to face.
Oh yeah.
People therefore have got that security blanket where I can say whatever I want of you. I can criticise everything you say.
Yeah.
It's like a one-upmanship, isn't it? If you say something, I can now pick that apart so that it makes me look like a more highly superior moral being.
Yeah, and then everyone else can chip in on you going, actually, yeah, this is offensive.
Even if I was to actually probably, that person might laugh at it in real life if you said it to their face. But behind that little screen, then they can, put on the crown of moral superiority and say, I am the Grand High Vizier of all that is true and good in the world. But I was making fun of somebody being fat. There are fat people in the world. It's not my fault. I didn't make them eat the cake.
No.
And it's not all glandular. Let's be honest. Let's do a survey and see if we can disprove that notion. But and somebody had a right go at me and said, I've struggled with weight loss all my life, blah 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 blah. I said, well, A, it's a joke. B, it's not directed at you as a person.
No.
And also the fact is that have you ever and she talked about getting offended. I said, have you ever in your life laughed at something that somebody has said that somebody else might find offensive? And she was like, well, probably, yeah. I said, so what's the difference?
Yeah.
You're no better than me.
It's my distinguishing difference in it is that you post something, a joke about fat people. The difference is you're either the person that laughs at that but doesn't treat anyone different for the way that they look or live their lives or whatever, or you genuinely hate people that are fat and will treat them differently because of it. That's the line between being offensive or not. If you've posted something going, all people that are overweight are horrible people, they should all be locked away and put in prison and killed, offensive.
Yes.
Anything else where you are friends with fat people. You have friends that are fat.
That sounds like I'm not racist because I've got friends who are black.
Well, you don't avoid them because you think they're
subhuman. Are you a casual fattist?
Yes. A hypocritical fattist. You don't treat them any different. It's a joke. It's the nature of comedy. Like I say, Frankie Boyle makes jokes about... I can't think of anything that I'm happy to put on film. But,
It probably had HIV as the punchline, which is usually Frankie Boyle.
But he's not actually going to start injecting people with it or treating anyone that has it any differently because he's a comedian and he knows the difference between right and wrong.
There's a difference between somebody making a joke about a Jewish person? Yeah, sure. A Jewish
Sean
person.
Connery.
Or Hitler making a joke about a Jewish person. So, So, again,
it's
a white supremacist making a joke about black people. If you're, I suppose, emotionally invested in what you're saying, there's a difference.
Yeah.
But we all make, we can all pretend we're super wonderful human beings. We will all make jokes. We'll all get a bit bitchy. We'll all be a bit of an arsehole.
Yeah.
And the thing is, that's fine. Yeah. It doesn't mean you have to set out to be an arsehole, but...
Accidental arseholes everywhere.
Yeah. I mean, God, through my life, I've had people take the piss out of me, and I've walked down streets and had funny comments from people. But the thing is, they're not in my life. It's what's the importance of that?
Yeah, and
people say things about it all the time.
Yeah,
and it's not really that important.
It's not saying that people can't be offended.
No,
because
of course
you're
not.
Fully in your right to be offended by something.
Yeah.
But
your offence isn't like the golden standard.
If you set about your life to be offended by everything you see, you're then offending everyone else that, you know, likes to like. I might make a joke about mental health, and people that have other mental health problems will be offended by that. But that's how I cope with it.
Yeah. That's
fully within my. I have as much right to make that joke as that person might do to be offended by it.
Yeah.
There isn't one upmanship, and the whole victim thing makes them kind of go, you're not allowed to laugh about having anxiety and depression because it makes me upset. And I'm like, well, I have anxiety and depression, and it makes me slightly happier to joke about it.
Yeah, there just seems to be there's no live and let live and acceptance that other people find things. This is what I've noticed of late. There's a kind of culture that's not a case of, I like what I like, you like what you like, so I can take what I want from something, you can take what you want from something, and we both don't have to like the same thing.
No.
That's sort of disappearing, and it's being overtaken with, I like this, so therefore everyone else should like it, and I don't like this, so therefore nobody should be allowed to have it. Because I think what it is I'm not that person's, if I was in their head, it'd be, I'm not a strong enough person to be able to deal with things outside my comfort zone. So therefore anything outside my comfort zone must go away.
I don't want to see it in my life, on my news feed, or within my friendship group. You know, it's kind of sad.
Yeah, because
I think it's because we have been smushed together with social media that through, you know, I can't enjoy my musical theatre life because my social media has a lot of my social media friends on it, and if one of my distant friends was offended by that, and we're friends on Facebook, they can't avoid it.
No.
It's no secret that I do shows. But if we only ever saw each other in person once every 5 years, then I would go, oh, I do musical theatre, but you know, I'm not really that interested. And I wouldn't mention it because they wouldn't know about it. Right. So we could then live our separate lives without offending one another.
Yeah.
Does that make any sense?
Yeah, I get what you mean. It's when you're exposed to something like, let's take for example, I don't know, say somebody who was to put up, you know, people put up pictures of food on social media, which I've never really understood. But
guilty.
Yeah. But I suppose it's better to put up pictures of food before you eat it rather than what happens after later on.
Yeah, no, don't do that.
No, that's a whole different ballgame. But yeah, say you've got someone who's a vegan or a vegetarian and someone puts up like a nice meaty dish and they're like, I find this really offensive, blah, blah, blah. Well, it's like, well, if you didn't have social media, you would never see that about that person unless you went out for dinner with them. Yeah.
Or you could choose to only associate yourself with people that didn't eat meat.
Yeah.
Which is a choice that you are free to make.
But then do you think, and this is sort of changing away from the comedic topic, but do you think people, I think it's kind of a good thing that on social media that you can block certain elements.
Yes.
Because I think that's kind of a representation of life, isn't it?
Yeah.
If you don't like certain people, well, you say that, but a lot of people will tolerate people in real life who they really can't stand just because they haven't got the balls to say, I don't like you.
Yeah.
Where on social media, they can sit there and rant away and be as, like, sort of degrading as possible to this human being because there isn't any comeback.
Yeah.
So
it's
quite a cowardly thing, social media, isn't it, for some people?
And I think it's impossible to deny that it is part of our lives now, and it's very hard to go back from it. But you can adjust it what you want. Like I liked pages 10 years ago when I was 20, no, not 20, 15, and they post crap now, and I'm like, well, I'm just going to unfollow that because I'm now a different person and I don't want to know about Fergie from the Black Eyed Peas. I'm not bothered.
Yeah.
I'm going to stop following it. It's not hard. Oh, Mike started posting really racist rants. I mean, I'm still friends with Mike and I get on with him like 80% of the time.
Full-on white supremacist.
But he's a massive racist, so I'm just going to unfollow him. But when we see each other in person, he doesn't go on his racist rants, so we get on. That's saying that I agree with white supremacists.
Yeah, I say I'm a white supremacist, but I like Will Smith, but he's not proper black.
That was a joke. Not to offend anyone. Joke. We laughed.
Yeah. And I did used to find Tony Braxton attractive. And I had a crush on Shaka Khan, actually.
Shaka Khan.
But I have noticed though, as I've got older, I've got a little bit gayer. I have a penchant for big black hunky men. I can't help it. They just make me feel...
I really love Terry Crews.
They make... Oh, Terry Crews is amazing.
This is gone.
Yeah, big black men. No, they just make me feel safe and warm, and then they look after me.
Yeah.
And protect my little white ass after ruining it.
Hi, Mum.
Well, I think, social media-wise, that with the idea of comedy and the idea of being offended, you can kind of treat... With social media, you've got two different things. If you see something on social media that offends you, you can either try and shut that person down or shoot them down or get something done about them. Or you can block them so you never have to see it again.
Yeah.
And that's kind of true to life and what offends you. If you know like the first time you see something on social media, if it offends you or somebody offends you, you might be like, whoa, I wasn't expecting that. If you know that that is what they're going to be doing...
Yeah,
then,
you can't be shocked the second time.
No. So you can block them, same as in real life with your comedy. You can say, right, I know that person, that's their kind of comedy, I don't need to see that.
But you know them in person, so you know they're not actually a dick.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. It's kind of that unseen line at which everyone says you shouldn't cross. It's what... You can call out someone for being offensive, but I think a lot of people need to realise that some things are actually... I can't even put this into words. A joke about meat in front of a vegan, insensitive, and, you know,
probably
funny.
a bit old hat and cliche now.
Yeah, but it's not offensive on like a level at which you could start a war.
No.
You know, war has been started over race and religion, not whether you made a joke about, I don't know, a fat person.
Yeah, and I think everyone's so sensitive these days that if you're... But almost to the point of where every little thing causes offence, when there's big issues of offence, that kind of... It all gets jumbled together and it kind of is... the importance of it gets... what's the word?
It kind of dilutes the impact of something actually being offensive.
Yeah.
There's hate speech, and then there's slightly, you know, close to the bone jokes.
It's the equivalent where if someone does that to a woman...
Oh, you just sexually assaulted me!
Yeah, rather than someone who has actually been through a horrific sexual assault, and they have got something really to be upset about and, you know, have issues with. And it's that same principle. If you're offended by every little thing in life, what are you going to do when something that truly offensive or shit really hits the fan?
Yeah, it's all kind of relative, and you know, everyone is entitled to their opinion and all of that. But I think, yeah, social media has kind of made it so easy for people to be offended, and for people not make it easy for people. It's not made it easy for people to offend other people, but because it has been used as a platform for that, I think everyone's very ready for it to be seen as that.
Yeah, everyone's kind of on edge and just waiting to wade in, aren't they?
They're waiting to go report that post because it made me chuckle slightly, but I think it's offensive.
Yeah. So in short, to wrap up, don't be a cunt. That. Except that you're not the only human being in the world that has feelings. Other people like what they like, you like what you like. Just get on with it. Try and look at the bigger picture of what's going on in the world, because if you don't find something amusing, don't watch it.
Yeah, and your Facebook newsfeed is not the world.
No.
What you see on there does not encapsulate the way that the world feels. So, you know, people can feel the way they feel there, but then you can go to the library and have a chat with someone that doesn't feel that way. Why did I choose library?
Dunno.
I've not been in about a decade.
Just be nice to each other. Don't be an arsehole.
Peace and love, man. Peace
and
love. Woo. Can't believe I did that.
Bye.
I love swinging chairs. So special. Don't make me ill.
It's really because I got all spunk in my throat. Real thick old man spunk, you know, with lumps in.
Gross.
So,